call the meeting to order at this time. Our first item is a public hearing.
Okay.
Mr. Goulart.
Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. The public hearing is occurring prior to the third and final reading. This is a public hearing on a rezoning matter. Ordinance number 2016-06. The property owners, Dennis and Karen Stutzman. The property to be rezoned is located at 1181 Mac Smith Road, Rossville, Georgia, 30741. And the proposed zoning is from R1 to commercial C1 zoning. The purpose of the public hearing is to afford members of the public an opportunity to make any comment that you want to make to the mayor and council for their consideration prior to the third and final reading. Now, what I would ask is that if you would like to address the council and the mayor concerning this proposed zoning, that you raise your hand, be recognized. I'll have you come to the podium, sign the sign-in sheet, and then you may proceed to make your comment whether you're for it or against it. And with that having been said, is there anyone in attendance tonight that would like to comment on this? Yes, sir. Would you come forward? And sir, if you will sign the sign-in sheet. Okay, and if you'll step over to the podium and state your name, and you may have the floor.
My name is Ricky Stevens. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Ricky Stevens. I live at 1199 Mac Smith Road. My wife Pam and I moved to this home in 1987. We raised our children in this home with many good memories. Although the years have gotten over the years we have gotten many compliments on our home and yard. We are told is always so neat. Our friends that pass by say they always look to see us if we're sitting in the front porch swing. Also, that our home looks so inviting that a stranger wouldn't mind coming to our home to ask for a drink of water because it looks so welcoming. These compliments make you feel good. Over the years, our neighborhood has become crowded with townhomes and increased traffic. Now there seems to be an interest in business. Mr. Stutzman bought the property at 1181 Mac Smith Road adjacent to our property. The Stutzmans have yet to speak to me as a neighbor, so I came to the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing to be informed of the reason for the rezoning request. The Stutzman's proposal is for a jewelry resale shop, occasional yard sales, and yard statues. I'm told Mr. Stutzman is an entrepreneur which buys land and buildings in high traffic areas, remodels them, and leases them out. He also owns a property adjacent to 1181 Mac Smith Road, also known as the Old Fruit Stand, at the corner of Steel Road and Mac Smith Road. It's leased currently to an antique dealer. I also witness a pickup truck loaded with yard sale items every weekend, unload, and sell on this lot. I couldn't imagine a yard sale at 1181 Mac Smith Road, where his proposed request is being considered for the fact there's very limited parking. When my neighbor passed away in 2015, I kept the grass cut and weeded it as if it were still lived in to keep it in my neighborhood. I'm here to let you all and the Stutzmans know this is going to be a problem in our neighborhood with the added traffic, occasional yard sales, or yard statues, or flea markets. I would like to ask the council to deny this request as if this was your neighborhood. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in attendance here tonight that would like to comment on this rezoning request? If so, please raise your hand. Yes, sir. You want to come forward, sir, and please sign. If you'll sign your name and then. Thank you, sir. If you'll state your name for the record, you will have the floor.
I'm Dennis Stutzman, and we did purchase the property there. There may be a little misunderstanding on what all we're going to do there. It's mainly we're remodeling the old house, which is just about falling down, and going to put a small store in there, mainly for Karen's daughter, my stepdaughter, to run. And we're going to sell, she likes to sell jewelry. We also own a candy making kitchen and bakery shop on 3 Notch Road. It's a licensed kitchen for that type of thing, and so we're going to do some prepackaged candies and things out of there. I also own a small statuary business, and we sell a few things like bird baths and that type of thing. Only an occasional yard sale, not a regular thing or flea market type thing at all. I doubt that it will increase traffic, and traffic is a problem on that street, as we know, but I doubt that it will increase traffic. I already talked to the city about expanding the entrance and egress from that, so it'll be easier to get in and out of with wider culverts and that type of thing. So it's easier to pull in and out of, and there's also a back gate to it that could be used for access, but certainly not going to be a big operation there at all. So be happy to answer any questions that you have. So.
Are you going to have a parking lot?
There is some parking there. There's a circle drive through there, and there's room for about 8 cars to park along there. And I doubt we'll have more than 1 or 2 cars at a time. You know, it's just, plus, then employees are where they will park over on the side of the house and in back of the house. So. But yeah, there's plenty of room for parking. It'll be all done up nicely and neatly. And we've already improved it a great deal. Cleaned up the outside of the old house and built a new porch on the house simply to make it look better because it was really looking bad. So, and we put a new coat of paint on the house to clean up, but then we stopped until we were done with this because we didn't know which way to go with the house, commercial or residential. And we cleaned up the yard. We tore out an old trailer that was in there. It's been a monster to get all that stuff hauled off. Trimmed up the trees and eliminated a lot of other trash that was on that property. And there was 5 or 6 truckloads of trash on there. And I've still got a pile there. We're waiting to get cleaned up when we get that remodeling. But it looks considerably cleaner and nicer now. And one of the gentlemen that rents from me also owns the property, and he's mowing it and taking care of it. It's been very well taken care of since we bought it, so, and it looks better now than it did then. So.
Mr. Stutzman, are you aware that we do have ordinance in the city regarding yard sales?
The yard, yes, I am. I don't know what they are right in that Mac Smith area, but the yard sales are it's if she's got, one table she wants to set out with some stuff on it on a Saturday and Sunday, or a Friday and Saturday, so. And that would be all, and that would only be very occasionally. It's not setting up a yard sale every weekend, that type of thing.
You do have to obtain a permit. They are free, but you do have to have yard sale permits to
Yeah, I
do so.
My
And
wife does a lot of yard sales, so.
It is on a limited basis. And business licensure, have you looked into obtaining your business license for the different businesses
Oh, yeah.
you've listed
Different
here?
businesses. And of course, we get a business license for that, so.
In the interest of being a good neighbor, do you think you could speak with the neighbors around and
Well, I
and
actually
work
said
with
we
them?
had, and I waved and talked to him, spoke to him over the fence a couple times, and then our first meeting we had on this rezoning, I talked to him there and explained what we were going to do, so I was a little confused by that.
He's had a stroke.
Yeah, I have difficulty hearing.
Can't hear you very well.
I'm sorry, I had a stroke this year, and so I don't speak quite as well as I did before.
Gentlemen, lady?
My only concern is going back to the park, and I live nearby there, and I see a lot of people pulling off to the gentleman's house there, which, by the way, it does look very nice. The house has been fixed up a little bit, but what concerns me is there's still road right after that, and traffic does back up there. Plus, is there a way, I've seen where looks like there's 2 or 3 parking spots, and it looks like there's a way to back up, but you mentioned going around the building. Is there a way for someone to get out of there easily? Because I can see where it would be a very dangerous spot to pull out right there on the corner.
We wanted to widen the area so you can more easily pull out onto Mac Smith. Of course, the back access can be used to get out onto Steel Road.
Okay.
We wanted to widen that, and 1 or 2 of those trees be removed so there's better visibility, because that's one problem that's there. Trees are overgrown, and by making it wider, it should make it a little bit easier to safely get on, but traffic's a problem there, I'll agree
Yeah,
with you.
it is.
So, but as far as parking, there will be room to park from that fence coming over to the house.
On the back side,
No, on the front side.
front side of the house,
Front side.
where you
That'll
put
all
the
be
new
Gravelled
front deck.
in there, and parking, car stops lined up along there to designate where the parking areas would be. And we probably will put in a fence across the front of the property, since the rest of the property is fenced. We'll probably put a fence and gates in front of the property, or across the property, simply for security. We haven't had any problems there, but I know our neighbor has had a problem there, so with people stealing.
Thank you.
To the planning commission, you noted on the report, it says noise would be a minimum. Was there any activity that would cause noise to be a problem to the residents?
It's simply a very small store with a counter in it, and that will have things like prepackaged fudge on it for sale. She has some unique jewelry items that she sells and that type of thing. And, maybe a rack of clothes in the back part of the building and that, but nothing that would cause any noise disturbance. And we certainly don't want to diminish his property in any way. We will continue to improve the looks of it and keep it like we do with all of our businesses, keep it nice and neat and maintained.
What would you propose to do with the property if the business were not to succeed? What would you propose with that property?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
What would you propose to do with the property if your business didn't succeed?
Oh, okay. one of the main reasons we bought the property was that we own this corner of Steel Road in Maximia, and this connects to it, and of course that's a very small piece of property. By getting them both zoned commercial, and then we could expand there, that makes that property more valuable to a potential buyer somewhere down the road, because they'll not only have that corner property, which is about 3/4 of an acre, linked to this 1.5 acres or 2 acres that's next door. So makes it more valuable and a better chance of selling it somewhere down the road. We hold property and lease it out usually. We don't look to sell it, but the renters that have been in there are very nice people that run the antique store. They've been renting for 4 years, 5 years,
Haven't been that long.
3 or 4 years. So, excellent renters and keep the property very nice.
Any further questions from the council? You may be seated. Is there anyone else in attendance here tonight that would like to comment on this request to change the zoning? If so, raise your hand. Let the record reflect that there's no one else in attendance that wants to comment on this zoning request. Therefore, I close the public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goulart. At this time, we will call the regular scheduled council meeting to order. Mr. Rogers, if you would, do the invocation. Mr. Crawford, do the pledge.
Stand with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all you've done for us, Lord. We thank you for this city. Lord, thank you for the opportunity you've given us to live in a wonderful city like Fort Oglethorpe. Thank you for the opportunity to represent the citizens of Fort Oglethorpe. Lord, give us wisdom as we conduct the business of the city. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the reading of the minutes of the previous council meeting. If members of the council have had an opportunity to review these, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Communications from the mayor. I am going to yield my time to Mr. Jack Staples tonight. I believe he has something he wants to present to us and tell us about. So Jack, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I've been neglected. It's hard to get you to one of our meetings because we meet on one of the second Monday of the month, so it's present you with the American Legion Post 214 in Fort Oglethorpe. I'd like to present the council and the city of Fort Oglethorpe a certificate of appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and assistance which contributed to the advancements of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. Presented by Battlefield Post 214, Department of Georgia, and this is dated the 11th of July, 2016, yeah. Especially like to point out the efforts of Mr. Childs, who's not here, and you, Mayor Gray, and more especially is to Mayor Pro Tem Paula Stennett, who is actively involved every time the veterans in the area put on a program. Of course, you know she's had her own TV shows with salute to veterans, so we just wanted to say a much needed and delayed in getting this to you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I'll come up.
Certainly.
go.
Thank you, sir.
I think he wants to take a picture.
All right, we'll let him. Come on around, guys, we'll get a hold. Has to get a stool.
Yep. Y'all ready? Now Katie gets the stool.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I apologize, I had not been.
Take it over and bring it back.
Okay.
Thank you, Jack. We certainly appreciate the plaque, and we certainly appreciate what you do for the veterans. You're a great asset to our community, and you're always there when they need you, and we appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Takes a lot of us to do it. It's not just me.
Next item on the agenda is zoning matters. We have none. Next item is ordinances, third and final reading, ordinance number 2016-06. Mr. Gulock.
This is ordinance number 2016-06. This is the ordinance in which we just had the public hearing. It is the third and final reading. Rezoning, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, and it is hereby ordained by the authority thereof, that the following property owned by Dennis and Karen Stutzman, known as 1181 Max Smith Road, is hereby rezoned to a C1 zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Gulock. I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Ordinance fails for lack of a second. Resolutions, we have none. Unfinished business, we have none. Reading of city clerk communications, we have none. Which brings us to new business. Item number 1, proposed approval for EPD laboratory drinking water fees. Mr. Gulock.
This is, I'm asking for approval of this contract. It's with the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, the Environmental Protection Division, and we have consistently used this agency throughout the years to periodically test our drinking water. So I'm recommending approval of this annual contract in the amount of $6,600.
I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2, proposed approval to participate in the Northwest Georgia Joint Development Authority. Mr. Gulock.
Is there anyone, is there a representative in attendance here tonight from that particular agency? Okay. If it please the council, I had met with some representatives of this top of Georgia economic development organization, and they had asked that we consider becoming a member by financially providing support to them, along with other companies and other municipalities and cities and counties, and I advised them that that I would present it to the mayor and council, and would, based on what information they provided to me, would make that recommendation. And this is a company that it's a nonprofit organization that works closely with the Northwest Georgia Joint Development Authority. And in your handout, there's a brochure that pretty much lists some of the sponsors. There's the city of city of Chickamauga. It's my understanding that the city of Ringo, which would also work hand in hand with the Catoosa County Development Authority. As it was presented to me, I advised them that I did not have in our 2016 any money or funds that I felt were available to fund this particular agency this year. However, I advised them that I would present it to you and would recommend that the city participate in this economic development plan in the amount of $5,000 to be placed in the 2017 budget, depending upon how your revenues and expenditures look when it becomes time to start your budget planning for 2017. So I would ask that if those funds are available, that perhaps a motion and a vote to approve joining that.
Have a motion to approve?
Can we, or I'll make a motion to, I think we'd be better off to maybe table this to a little bit closer to the time frame, if that's acceptable, because I know we got some projects coming on in the 2016, and just to make sure, with the re-roofing and of the buildings coming up and things like that, that it might be better to wait and see exactly where we're at.
Okay.
Hold on just a second there, Mr. Goodlaw. We've got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Wait, did you make a motion to approve?
I didn't make a motion to approve. I made a motion to table.
We got a motion to table. Need a second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to table. Any discussion?
Yeah, I agree. If we want to wait till the 2017 budget process to take a look at it, it doesn't make sense to vote on it now, in my opinion. I think we should wait and vote on it once we see the numbers for 2017 or see the numbers for 2016 and start planning for 2017, so that we can know if it makes sense financially. That's my view.
Anyone else? I think in this proposal, the proposal was for 2017, not this year, if I understood the way you read it correctly.
So what would we be voting on?
You'd be voting on to join it effective in 2017 is the way I understood it as he presented it, not now.
Correct, but we don't know fiscally how we will stand given the projects that we know we have forthcoming, and very expensive projects with roofing, etc. So how can we approve it for 2017 if we don't really know where we're going to stand?
I believe, and I apologize if I didn't make it clear. First of all, I wanted you to be aware that this particular agency is there and available to assist us. And the second thing is, I wanted you to, if you approved it, it would be subject to available funding in 17. Not that you're committing to do it, but if those funds are available, that you would consider putting it in the budget the same as we do for the Learning Center and things such as that. So, as long as you're aware of it, I just would like to make sure that when someone puts this 2017 budget together, that there's this item out here that I think you really need to consider.
Noted, and then we'll look at it.
Any other discussion? All in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to table is approved unanimous. Item 3 will be tabled until the next meeting. Item number 4. Go back to 3. Thought I had it.
We tabled
Oh, we forgot. Proposed approval of boundary line agreement between Interstate Enterprise Incorporated and the City of Fort Oglethorpe. Mr. Goodlaw.
This deals with a piece of property that the city owns on Lakeshore Drive. It has our Lakeshore pump station there. Over the years, there's been 2 surveys. The property that adjoins our property where the pump station is owned by Interstate Enterprise, Inc. It's where those miniature warehouses are. And that property has been sold. However, in the title search, there was some inconsistencies between the 2 surveys as to where the exact boundary line is between their property and our property. We reached an agreement as to that location. It does not impact our property whatsoever. It just cleans the title. We previously have signed an agreement executed by the mayor and witnessed by myself. However, just so as to be there'll be some formal recognition of it, I'm asking that the council approve this boundary line agreement.
Have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 4, Northwest Georgia Regional Communication Annual Fees. Mr. Goodlaw.
This is our annual fee with the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission. It's in the amount of $9,803. Recommend approval of it. It actually runs from July the 1st of this year through June the 30th of 2017.
I have a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 5, Dog Park. Ms. James.
When we went to the training that we had this past year, one of the things that was mentioned that has a high impact on communities at an inexpensive cost was a dog park. So we went to work on giving a proposal for some discussion on doing that for Fort Oglethorpe. You've got a package in front of you, and it lists how would a dog park improve the quality of life in Fort Oglethorpe. The main things there are we want to promote Fort Oglethorpe for visitors and for our citizens as a dog-friendly city. We want to bring citizens together. We want to take advantage of these places that we have property that's open. We've already got one of the proposed sites is down our canoe launch. I don't know if anybody's been down there, but it's very nice. It's all concreted down there. There's some shaded areas, there's some sunny areas, there's already benches. So that's one of the proposed sites. What we're proposing on here is 100 feet by 25 feet. I've looked at some local ones around. They're anywhere from this size to maybe a quarter or a third of an acre. The fencing is, the price of that in here, like I say, 100 by 25 feet is a minimal amount. The detail of the fencing needed and the pieces needed are in your package after page 4. The price would be somewhere around $1,263 if we bought from a local home improvement store. Hours of operation, we could be like others are, it's sunrise to sunset, close it for a few hours maintenance per week. It'd be minimal maintenance. It would be mowing around it, do a little weed eating. They have waste stations that we've got in the package on page 2. These are lifetime guarantee, the waste stations for the little waste bags, very inexpensive. You can buy these, economical ways to buy these. You buy these, of course, in bulk like you do anything else. And then I've got on page 3, going into page 4, is just an example of the rules. I know that there's going to be a lot of ins and outs of this, a lot of rules, but that's in there. Then the next page, of course, is your detail of your fencing price. The next page is kind of a drawing sketch of the size of it, how it would be, just be a square fence, 4-sided fence. It would have double gates. When you go into these dog parks, you have double gates for safety. You go in, you latch it, and then you have another one that actually goes into the play area. We'd have that. Then at one end, we would have double gates so you could get your mowers in there, because we want to have a way to get those mowers in there to do that quick and easy. On the last page, there's a picture of a site there that's down by our canoe launch. Like I say, this is just for discussion right now. I'm sure there's other areas in Fort Oglethorpe, but I felt like this was one of the places where we've already got parking behind the restaurants there that's not being used. The folks, when you go out there, they're parking there and taking their canoes and going on the canoe launch, so it is being utilized. And I just felt like this would be a good place for it. It's a shaded area. We would do minimal decoration as far as some old abandoned fire hydrants that have been donated, put some benches outside of it. So I felt like this was just something that would have a big impact to Fort Oglethorpe with a low cost on it. What we would do as far as the cost would be to partner with some business and citizens to donate a couple of the benches and to donate some of the fencing, so there wouldn't be any cost to the city except for the disposal waste bags. So any discussion you guys want to talk about or ask about, I just think from what they said, like I say, in the classes that we had, it's very inexpensive and it has a big impact as far as the citizens. There's people that live in apartments and condos that don't have anywhere to take their pets other than little areas, and this would be a way for them to take them off leash where they can let them play, have a little fun. Maybe they get to talk to some of the other local citizens in the area and get to know some of your neighbors. So I think it would be a great idea, and I'd like to move forward on maybe getting some sites ready and propose some actual sites for you if everybody's okay with this. And I realize there's nothing in the budget for this year for the waste station and that, so if we know about it now and it'll take a few months to get things going, that way we can get it in next year's budget for the stations there. But like I say, most of it hopefully we could get donated. There's a lot of people that would like to do something to put their dog's name on a little plaque or something. So that might be a way to get some funding for us.
I like the idea.
It's very well thought out. You've really put it all together for us, and I think it'd be a great location for citizens and their dogs to hang out. Very safe.
Yeah, I think we should keep pursuing the idea. Ron, do you know, would it have to go to planning and zoning? The locations, or how would that work?
It would depend on the particular zoning and the use of the property selected.
Okay.
So we need to get a few sites selected and then take it to them. I did check with at Dalton Utilities and then other cities that have general liability. I know that's probably a question. Same you have as liability on the pool or the playground. You know, there's implied liability there, but it should fall under their umbrella policy. But that'd be something we need to check on also. make sure it was covered if there were any issues.
Anyone else? This is simply a proposal that we're going to look at. I don't think you're
Yes, no-
requesting any
no
kind of
votes.
action tonight, are you? Okay.
Just something I want everybody to think about and maybe stew it over a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Ms. James. City Manager's report. Mr. Goulart.
I had a couple of things. The first thing, and I think I'll defer to Councilman Crawford as far as an update, is on the ball tournament that's going on. The other matter I wanted to apprise you of, and it's been in the newspaper about a month and a half ago. The position of the state court judge became available, and it was advertised, and I, being a lawyer, applied for that position. I've participated in a couple of interviews in Atlanta, one with the governor, and last week there was 3 of us candidates that went and met with the governor. And last Thursday, I received a telephone call from the governor advising me that I had been the successful candidate. So with that in mind, I wanted to tell all of you collectively that unfortunately I will be resigning my position as city manager, and wanted the public to know that I was leaving on good terms, and wanted to thank you all for the opportunity that you've given me to work as your city manager. It's been very rewarding. Over the years, I've established, a good friendship with the council members, and particularly the employees of the city. And trust me, it was not an easy decision to make that decision to leave, but I have been, I've served as a judge in the past, and this was a great opportunity perhaps for me to end my career. So with that in mind, I wanted you to know, and wanted you to know how much I appreciated the opportunity to serve you and the citizens of the city of Fort Oglethorpe. And would like to perhaps go into executive session and discuss the seamless transition, and to let you know that I will certainly make myself available for that transition, and to make sure that the city is fully covered and protected as far as that transition is concerned. And of course, you've got an experienced city attorney who is familiar with just about everything I do, and I think you're going to be in good hands.
Thank you, Mr. Goulart.
Thank you, sir.
City certainly appreciates your service.
Thank you.
City Council comments. Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I've got a couple things, Mr. Mayor. First of all, congratulations, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
A great honor, and we're really proud of you, and I've really enjoyed working with you. I'm really going to miss you. I'd also like to give a bit of congratulations to Craig and Jeff, Mark Cope, Robert Keefe, all the guys that helped put together the Rick Honeycutt World Series. It's been really good again this year. It's a really neat economic development impact for the city. Roughly 5,000, if you've noticed the road's busy, roughly 5,000 extra people in town for about 2 to 3 days, some of them 4 days. It's a really, really awesome impact and a really great thing for the city, and I've got to give those guys props for that. So that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, to reiterate what you were saying, but don't let Councilman Rogers cut himself short. He does all of our website design for the World Series to get the name out and recognition on that, and thank you for that, Derek. And also, I just want to, it's been a pleasure working with you. I know when I first took office, I asked Mr. James D. Berry, the late Mr. D. Berry, and said, he was a former council member, said, what do you want, what do you do? And he goes, just make sure you leave this place better than when you took it over. And you have, and it's been an honor to work with you, learn from you, and good luck, Judge.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Ms. Stinnett.
I'll have to echo the gentleman and say that we will miss you, Ron, but know that you're going to do well as your judgeship, and we'll look forward to hearing about all your accomplishments.
Thank you so much.
So as they would say in Thailand, Kap Kun Ka. Thank you. I just returned from Thailand for 3 weeks and want to express how important it is to study other cultures and societies, how that helps to increase our knowledge about our own society and culture and the things that we can improve on in our culture, as well as things that we see in other cultures. You will see a report being printed soon. I hope you'll take advantage of it, and if anyone has any questions about that, feel free to give me an email or a call here at City Hall. Fort Oglethorpe Tourism would like to announce August 6th, Vintage Baseball at 12 and 2:30 p.m. And on August 27th, Family Movie Night will be Zootopia this time. And gentlemen, council lady, that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Ms. James.
Like everyone else, Mr. Goulart, you've done a great job. You've got a great staff. We appreciate you. And also I want to say something tonight in lieu of what's going on with everything in our country, how much we appreciate our law enforcement, our fire department. Please keep them in your prayers and thoughts. They go out every day, unsung heroes sometimes when we don't understand what's going on, and then we hear about it on the news and it's always something bad, but they do this every day, do something great every day, and we appreciate them, and please pass that on to your staff.
Thank you, Ms. James. Citizens petitions and requests we have done. That brings us to executive session. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned for executive session. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. In executive session, we discussed personnel. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second? Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.